everyone, this is Colleen Lemma, Starseed Astrologer and Spiritual Messenger from SacredSoulEmpowerment.com. Here to do your weekly angel card reading for Monday, June 26th through Sunday, July 2nd, 2017. Before we get to the weekly reading, I wanted to take this opportunity to make a short video and just quickly update you on the progress that I'm making as far as my living situation, and to also say a personal thank you to a lot of you that have assisted me in some way, shape, or form over the last 4 or 5 weeks here. So as far as the living situation, I'm closing in on looking at a couple of different options. I don't want to say too much right now about that until it solidifies and manifests and comes to pass. But I do have a couple of opportunities that are in the works, plus some longer potential opportunities as far as maybe a long distance move, perhaps to the Colorado area. So thank you for all of those who have sent their support, prayers, and good intentions for me in this moving process, both the temporary and the long distance moving process. But more so, I wanted to take this opportunity to thank everybody personally that have assisted me in some way since the fire occurred on May 13th. And there's so many of you that have emailed or texted or called or sent donations, and please forgive me if I don't get each and every one of you. I tried to make a big list here as far as thanking everybody personally. But if somehow I miss somebody, please don't take it personally, and please know that I thank you from the bottom of my heart with deep gratitude and appreciation for all of you that have helped. So for those of you that have assisted through donations through the GoFundMe page that was set up by my dear friend, I want to thank Alicia N, Sandeep K, Maggie M, JCW, Robin H, Renee H, Rosemary VH, Janice M, Elizabeth M, Mary Ann C, Terry S, Julie L, RMC, Anna J, Sheila F, Marissa F, Regina M, Lisa B, Connie R, Sarah W, Ronnie P, Windsor L, Lynn H, JC, Laura R, Chanel H, Lana C, Christine D, Gina G, Al R, Lara W, Carol B, David H, Monique PC, Beverly L, Lindsay W, Allie B, Melody C, Stephanie C, Karen P, Diane V, Jocelyn T, Debbie J, Brenda C, Lara B, Al R, Sharon A, Nuala H, Donna B, Beth F, Dawn W, Sue S, Catherine A, Cindy B, Leanne M, Heidi M, Robin B, Sherry R, Bill and Sherry K, Linda C, Peggy D, Heather K, Rowena O, Laureen H, Jacqueline B, Patricia H, Vivian Y, Jackie P, Lily E, Allie B, Linda S, Kelly B, Stasha S, Michelle M, Eve S, Jerry O, Anna J, Sandy S, Kintla E, Grace Z, Heidi G, Cindy H, Victoria S, Jolie O, Jeff L, Joy P, Bonnie B, Beate J, Dina P, Janet A, Elizabeth F, Cindy A, Lily B, Dorothy F, Heather VK, Catherine RS, Acadia BC, Joanne G, Carla M, Linda S, Rita S, Lisa B, Kathy H, Connie C, Sandra C, Amy M, Shane Marie K, Mary B M, Alberta A, Julie R, Katrina T, Angela G, Sarah V, Marty S. And again, for all of those anonymously that donated also through the GoFundMe page, I thank you very much. And for those of you that donated through either my P.O. box, mailing address, and for those that donated through my donation page on my website, Linda H., Lewis S., Marie A.H., Veronica H., Nancy W., Lords P., Daniela S.K., Kathleen W., Diane K., Tracy F., Lauren S., Carmita S., Karen M., Nicola B., Lee K., Enzo and Caitlin P., and Claudia S. And again, for all of those that may have also anonymously donated, thank you very much. And also I want to say a special thank you to someone who's very near and dear to my heart that assisted me in various ways very greatly. My dear friend in Belgium that wishes to remain anonymous. I love you dearly. Thank you so much for your assistance. And also to Susan M., who let me stay here temporarily for about a month and a half now. Deborah G., who let me use her office space during this time. Barb S., Kintla E., and Joel S., who assisted me in packing, purging, and moving some of my things to my storage unit. Laura R., for your emotional support and assistance from the Colorado area. And last but not least, my dear, dear friend Laura D., who assisted by setting up the GoFundMe page when I would have never thought about that. And again, all of you that I haven't even mentioned, for your love, support, your kind comments, your good intentions, your love. I thank all of you very much. Without all of this, I would have never been able to move forward. And it's been such a blessing and an honorable lesson for me to see the love and the support that's out there when one goes through such, I don't want to call it a tragedy, but such an experience. And we know that experiences like this actually just lead us, realign us to our path, to our truth, to something better, to something more appropriate. Sometimes it takes a little bit of patience and a little bit of being focused and grounded and being open to universal guidance and to stay in a place of trust and faith, to see where that path leads us, to see how it all unfolds. And I'm still waiting to see where that path leads and how it all unfolds. But each and every day I make an attempt to stay in a place of balance and positivity and in a place of peace and knowingness that, again, I am being divinely guided and led to the next step on my path. So again, I wanted to say that personal thank you to all of you. I would have never been able to get to it by writing back. And so I wanted to do this short video to thank you all personally. So I wish you all much love and light. Mwah. Many, many angel blessings. And until next week, namaste. Hello everyone, this is Colleen Lemma, Starseed Astrologer and Spiritual Messenger from SacredSoulEmpowerment.com, here to do your weekly angel card reading for Monday, June 26th through Sunday, July 2nd, 2017. So this week is going to bring us into a new month, the month of July. You'll want to make sure to also go onto my YouTube channel under Colleen Lemma and watch the monthly angel card reading for July. Now, if it's not up by Monday the 26th, it will be up shortly thereafter. So make sure you just keep watching for that to come out. Now, this week's weekly reading, we're going to be using Doreen Virtue's Angel Tarot deck for the main message for everyone. And as far as your special message card, depending on your stone of choice, we're going to be using the Magical Mermaids and Dolphins deck, which is also by Doreen Virtue. So before we get into the astrology for the week, let's take a look at your stones of choice so you can decide which one is going to bring you your special message. So the first stone here is labradorite. Now labradorite is considered an otherworldly stone. It's usually a dark gray in nature and has either a bluish or green or both reflective kind of light to it. This one has more green in it than blue. And again, because it's of an extraterrestrial nature, it helps you to get in touch with those other planetary guides like the Pleiadians, the Sirians, and to open up to what their messages to us personally as well as to the planet is all about. But aside from having that connection with the otherworldly guides, it also helps to bring a sense of groundedness and focus because of that dark gray color, and this is the other side of it that's not as shiny. But this is going to help to bring those higher vibrational energies and help to ground it into this third dimensional reality that we're in. Okay, your second stone of choice is red jasper. Now, red jasper also has an earthy or grounding effect to it, okay? Obviously, it looks very earthy in nature. It looks like red clay. And this is going to relate to the root chakra. The root chakra is all about our sense of security. This can be a financial security as well as emotional or other types of security within our lives. It is also about survival instincts, and so that's why it includes that financial aspect, because that's part of our survival here in this third dimensional plane. This is also, again, going to help us to bring a focused or grounded energy into our lives. Okay, and then the last stone of choice is blue calcite. And the blue calcite is going to vibrate to the throat chakra. This is about clear communication. It's about clear thinking. It's about also communicating with compassion as well and speaking your truth. So if there's anything to do with speaking or teaching or writing or having important communications with others this week, this might be the stone of choice for you. Okay, so again, your stones of choice are the labradorite, the red jasper, and the blue calcite. So while you're thinking about that, let's talk about the astrology for the week. Okay, so we have a lot of planets in Cancer right now. Last week, we had the Sun move into Cancer, and we had Mercury move into Cancer. We also have Mars in Cancer right now. And the highlight of all the astrology this week seems to be surrounding mostly Mercury, but also Mars. So a lot of Cancerian energy as far as the aspects. We start out on Monday the 26th, and I did briefly mention this in last week's weekly reading because it happened so early Eastern Daylight Time on Monday. So some of us, even those that are on the Pacific time, which would be more like California, Oregon, Washington State, you actually did experience this late Sunday night. And this is going to be about Mars in Cancer, and it's in a positive trine aspect to Neptune in Pisces. Now, Cancer and Pisces are both water signs, and Mars actually is a fire planet. So when you put Mars in Cancer, it almost waters it down a little bit. Mars is about our physical energy, it's about our forward movement, and so we might feel, again, like our forward movement is being hampered a little bit or being watered down. And really what we have to do is we have to take that idea about physical energy or forward movement, and we have to look at it more from the emotional realm, because that's what Cancer is all about. It's about the emotional energy. Now, when we take Mars in Cancer and we put it in that positive aspect to Neptune, which again happens early Monday morning, I feel like this is about plans that we might have in moving forward or things that we're doing to take the next step. It might not be what you think, because Neptune is kind of that planet that rules illusion, but it rules spirituality too. So there's always like the upside and more of the, if you want to call it the downside or the not so positive side of any planet or any sign. And Neptune brings that sense of trusting and having faith in your spiritual path, and trusting your angels and guides, and trusting God and the universe to bring you to whatever that next step is in your life. So it's got that aspect of surrender to it. And because Mars is about our forward movement, which again is being slowed down a little bit, watered down by being in that sign of Cancer, and then it's connecting to Neptune, I think that if we just surrender and we just ask God or the universe or our angels and guides, if we just ask, show us what the next step is, show me what it is I'm supposed to do, show me the right and appropriate decision to make, and then surrender and listen and be open to whatever that is going to be, because I feel like some of our plans may be redirected. some of the things that we thought were going to happen might not happen the way we thought they were going to happen, and we might be completely redirected altogether. And that's where that trust and faith and that aspect of surrender has to come in with Mars trining Neptune. On Tuesday, the 27th, now we have a lot of Mercury action going on, because Mercury in Cancer is going to be in a challenging aspect to Jupiter in Libra. Also on Tuesday, Mercury is in a positive connection to Neptune, just like Mars was the day before. So what I think here is that, this is about our thoughts. Mercury is our thoughts, our ideas, the way we think. It's our communication. And Jupiter is about our belief systems. And again, it's in the sign of Libra, so a lot of time here while Jupiter is going through Libra, it's about our perceptions or perspectives of the relationships in our lives, the partnerships in our lives. But also Jupiter in Libra can be about our beliefs about harmony, our beliefs about balance, our beliefs about equality, our beliefs about things being fair or just. So, in lieu of it being about relationships, it's also about these other things. And here we have Mercury connecting in a challenging way to Jupiter, and then in a positive way to Neptune. And I feel like it's just expanding our spiritual perception about things. We may be challenged to look at things from a different perspective with that square to Jupiter. But then if we allow ourselves to look at things from a different perspective, that trine to Neptune can just bring in this whole new spiritual clarity about how to see things. And again, Mercury is in Cancer, so it's got that emotional aspect to it, that feeling aspect. If we just allow ourselves to feel and intuit and be receptive to where we're being guided, or the communications that we're having to others, or the thoughts or ideas that are coming into our through our crown chakra into our mind. This is what all of these aspects are all about. Now, Wednesday and Thursday, Mercury continues on. Wednesday the 28th, Mercury connects with Mars, and then Thursday the 29th, Mercury opposes Pluto. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you what the last aspect is, because it ties in to Sunday, July 2nd, Mars is opposing Pluto. So you can see that this is all about Mars and Mercury connecting with all these different planets here this week. Now, as Mercury comes together with Mars, and both Mercury and Mars oppose Pluto, there's something transformational happening here. There's transformation perhaps in our forward movement. There's transformation in our thoughts and ideas. There's transformation in our communications, both within family and other people that we have an emotional connection to, because again, that's all Cancer energy. Cancer rules home and family. So because we have so many Cancer planets, and all of these aspects this week involve either Mars or Mercury in Cancer, this could definitely be things happening in the family or on the family level. Communications, activities, different situations that are either moving forward or being redirected in our lives. So there's a big family tie here that's happening. But again, in lieu of family, Cancer also rules those people in our lives that we have that emotional connection that are like family. And this could be our spiritual family as well. So it has that emotional communication feeling to it. So some sort of emotional communication that we're having is going to bring some sort of transformation, because both Mercury and Mars are opposing Pluto, and Pluto is about transformation, regeneration, transmutation, transmuting old lower vibrational energies, and being able to again rise from the ashes like the phoenix. That's what Pluto's all about. Pluto's about death and rebirth and rising from the ashes. So there's definitely some things going on here by the end of the week that's going to bring in some sort of transformation for us. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the cards and see what the messages from our angels and guides are for the week. So turning over the first card, well, this is interesting. We have the Queen of Air, okay? And I would have thought we would have seen maybe some Cups cards here, because of all that Cancer energy is very emotional, but this is the air suit. This is about the mind, which Mercury does rule the mind, so we'll give it that. The Queen of Air says independent, experienced, realistic, and witty. And at the bottom, the message says objective decision-making, clearing away all that no longer serves you, and seeing the humor in a situation. So here we have the Queen. She's looking into a crystal ball here. So again, I feel like that's that aspect of surrender somewhat. The Queen is, you know, the nurturer. The Queen is the mother and the nurturer. And that's all that Cancer energy here. But she's in a very logical placement here. She's in the sign of air, or this is the suit of swords in the traditional tarot. And so although she's an emotional being, she has to be logical right now. Okay, so whatever's going on, your guides and angels are asking you this week to kind of combine your intuition and your ability to be the nurturer, the mother, and to be connected to your emotional nature, but also to balance that with the other side of being logical, being grounded, being clear-headed, seeing things from, again, a different perspective, trying to find the clarity in the situation. So it's almost a mix of that emotional and mental energy going on. And again, this is clearing away all that no longer serves you. So this is cutting the cords, you know, cutting the cords to old ideas that you may hold, cutting the cords maybe to situations and relationships that are no longer valid. This is about clearing away old grudges. This is, again, bringing in that communication aspect to where whatever is going on with family members or friends or those in our lives, whatever communications are happening, maybe there's some lack of clarity. That's what I want to say. There might be a lack of clarity or a misunderstanding that's happening, and it's time to clear the air. It's time to clear away the doubts, the fears, the illusions, but also to clear the air within communications with other people. And again, merge the mind and the heart. Merge the logic and the emotions or the feelings. And, you know, that will actually get you further than being overly emotional or being overly logical. So it's going to be a good thing this week to kind of blend the two. Let's go ahead and take a look at the second card. Maybe it'll give us more information about the Queen's role this week. Okay. Okay, so here we do have a water card. This is the Seven of Water. And the traditional tarot, it's the Seven of Cups. And this says at the bottom, a complex decision, the need to do research, stop procrastinating. So a lot of times when I see the sevens, you know, and this is also from a numerological perspective, there can be some confusing energies going on with the number 7. Whatever situation or relationship or occurrence is happening, it often brings this sense of confusion or doubt or fear, not knowing, not understanding. And this then causes us to have to do self-reflection, to kind of go within and maybe do a little bit more meditation to get grounded, to do a little bit more self-contemplation to try to understand why these things are occurring, what's going on, and how do the puzzle pieces fit, because it certainly doesn't seem like it's fitting very well. So this is why this card in this deck talks about doing more research. There seems to be, again, this decision that needs to be made, but there's these confusing emotional energies that maybe are clouding it. And so this actually does seem to go with the Queen of Air, because the Queen of Air needs to cut. She needs to cut away all that no longer serves her. She needs to see with clarity. She needs to merge logic and emotion to see with clarity what's really happening or why it's happening, to have a deeper understanding. And here we continue with the Seven of Water that says there's some sort of complex decision that needs to be made. We're trying to decide to do something or move in a different direction, or something's not making any sense and we're trying to make heads or tails out of it. And what we need to do is we need to go within. We need to go within to ask our guides and angels, to ask God, the universe, to say, what is the purpose of this? Why are things happening the way they are happening? Help me to make sense out of this, or show me the next step. Give me some sort of idea of what it is I'm supposed to do. So usually the Seven of Cups is depicted with some of the cups that have fallen over or are broken, or they've lost what they were holding as far as the liquid or the water. And then there's other cups here that are still standing upright. So the message here is, don't lose sight that there are still some blessings. Don't lose sight that there's still something to be able to salvage here. You know, understand that that through trust and faith and through contemplation and deeper understanding of why things may be spiritually happening the way they are, that you will gain some clarity. You will go back to the Queen of Air and gain that clarity that you're seeking and have a better understanding. Maybe not this week, but in time you'll have a better understanding of why things are occurring the way they're occurring. Let's go ahead and take a look at the last card for the week. Okay, we have a major arcana here, major arcana number 16. This is called life experience in this deck. Now in the traditional tarot, this is the Tower card. And June, if you recall watching the monthly reading for June, the vibration numerologically is a 16, which is the Tower card month. So that there's a lot of things happening on the external level, a lot of shifts, a lot of transformations, a lot of changes in our lives that's happening on that kind of external level outside of ourselves that's bringing a lot of transformation within us. Now, this is with Archangel Chamuel, and the message at the bottom says a significant life event, a powerful revelation that leads to change, time to spread your wings. This goes very well with the fact that Mercury and Mars in Cancer between Thursday the 29th and Sunday, July 2nd, are both opposing Pluto. This is a very Plutonian kind of card. Again, that death and rebirth, transformation and change, kind of the destruction of the old to bring in something new, rising from the ashes anew like the phoenix. So there's going to be some sort of significant change that's happening. Now, it could be significant communication with somebody. It could be a significant move, a significant career change, a significant redirection of a relationship. There's a lot of ways that this could pan out. One of the things that really stood out when I read the message at the bottom was a powerful revelation that leads to change. Because Mercury in Cancer is opposing Pluto in Capricorn on Thursday. And again, you'll feel this for the whole week, not just on Thursday, but it comes to its exact opposition on Thursday. A powerful revelation, that's Mercury. Mercury is about ideas, thoughts, communication. It's the ruler of the mental realm. So a powerful revelation that leads to change, opposing Pluto, transformation. Okay? So there's something that we're going to become aware of, something huge that's redirecting us on our path that we're going to become aware of. And again, the transformation may not all be this week. You may be in the beginnings of the change this week, but you know, this change, this revelation that leads to transformation and change may be in the weeks coming ahead too. So this seems like a very spot on and powerful reading for the week. Let's go ahead and take a look at your special message card depending on your stone of choice. So I'm just giving them a shuffle here off camera, but this again is the Magical Mermaids and Dolphins deck by Doreen Virtue. Okay, so we gave them a shuffle here. I'm going to call in our angels and guides. Okay, this one, no, Spirit said no, not that one. Okay, this one here is going to be for the Labradorite people. Labradorite, okay, wait. Okay, it says, don't rush into action right now. Bide your time for better results. This makes a lot of sense because, again, with transformation and change, sometimes things happen out of the blue, all of a sudden, we don't understand. We never saw it coming. You know, it kind of blindsides us sometimes. And I'm not saying that's going to happen necessarily to you, but sometimes change comes in like that, where we don't see it coming, or we're redirected and we don't understand why or what's happening. This is saying don't make any major decision hastily. This is saying, you know, you have time, Labradorite people, to take your time and weigh the pros and cons. Weigh, you know, your decision very wisely and just wait. Wait and see what happens, maybe for the next week or couple of weeks, or maybe even for the next month, to see how things unfold. It's also saying that you're going to get a better result if you do it that way too. Okay, so don't be hasty and don't feel like, oh, I have to quit my job right now because this happened at work, or I have to move right now because things are not working out the way I had thought as far as relocation or you know, temporary. You know, this is what I'm thinking as far as for me is like this temporary relocation. Maybe it's not working out. Maybe I'm supposed to move across the country right now. This is saying, no, bide your time. Wait a little bit. Wait to see how things unfold. There's something that you're not getting yet. There's something that hasn't been shown to you yet. There's a message from Spirit that you have to be aware of yet. So just kind of hold off and just, you know, wait it out a little bit. Ask for the message to become clear before you move forward. All right, let's take a look at the special message for those that chose the red Jasper. All right, so giving this a shuffle. Red Jasper, and what keeps catching my eye is this one, so I'm going to turn this one over. Red Jasper people, love it. Dream big. Dream big. Let go of small thoughts about yourself and see yourself succeeding. Okay, so whatever this is about this week, you know, you might be thinking, well, that's never going to be able to happen, or it's never, you know, worked out before, so how am I going to, you know, how am I going to do this? How am I going to change jobs? How am I going to move? How am I going to find the soulmate of my dreams? You know, whatever it might be. Maybe I have to, because of my age or because of where I live, I have to kind of settle for less. This is saying, no, 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 don't do that. Your guides and angels want you to dream big. They want you to have what you desire because you're worthy and deserving of it. We all are. We're worthy and deserving of having the job, the home, the relationship, the financial support that we desire in life. So this is where it says, you know, let go of small thoughts about yourself. You're worthy and deserving. Know that you're an aspect of the divine. If you're an aspect of the divine, if you're part of God's source energy, then, you know, you're worthy and deserving of anything that you desire. Because the universe is all-encompassing. The universe is infinite. The universe is full of infinite abundance and blessings. And you are also part of that universal energy, so therefore you're worthy and deserving of that infinite abundance and blessings as well. So whatever it is you would desire for yourself, wherever you'd like to go, whatever you'd like to do, whoever you'd like to be, know that that can happen. And put that intention out there for it to happen. And ask to be guided to the next step to make it happen. But dream big and think big this week, okay? And then for those of you that chose the blue calcite, let's give a little shuffle here. Blue calcite, asking to be shown for the message for that. Okay, this one, blue calcite. Morning affirmations, that's gonna get you there. You know, it's gonna get you to where it is you need to go this week. Say positive affirmations each morning to open the gates of manifestation. And I know that this may seem like not as exciting of a message, but again, affirmations, speaking out loud what it is that you desire for yourself. It kind of goes with the card before, the dream big. But again, this is blue calcite, people. This is, you know, and I look at this picture, this mermaid, she's coming out of the water and raising her head to the sky, and she's letting the light shine down upon her. So I feel like, you know, you're coming out of some emotional situation, and that emotional situation may have brought you down in some way, brought up some fears or anxieties or some depression. Now you have to come out of that emotionality, come out of the water like the mermaid, and raise your head to the sun, raise your head to the sky, raise your head to God and the universe and say, I am worthy and deserving, and I'm going to use these affirmations, and I'm going to speak what it is that I desire. I would write it down too. Write it down and then speak it aloud, your intentions. And say these affirmations. Put them somewhere where you see them and you can say them every day. I'm worthy and deserving of all the financial assistance that I desire. And put a dollar amount on it. I am worthy and deserving of the soulmate relationship that I desire. And make a list of the qualities that you want in that person. I'm worthy and deserving of the home that I desire. And then write down locations or pick a location and write down what it is that you desire in that new home, that new locale. You know, whatever it is, it's about, you know, retraining the subconscious mind. That's what affirmations is. Affirmations are about retraining the subconscious mind to think in a different way, because somewhere along the line in our early childhood and quite possibly from past lives, we have kind of trained our subconscious to think in a way that is lack, a way that we don't deserve, or we're not good enough, or we're not worthy enough to have this, that, or the other thing. And so affirmations helps us to retrain our subconscious mind to think in a better, healthier, more prosperous, more abundant way, so that the blessings of the universe can shower down upon us. Okay? All right, so I hope you've liked this weekly angel card reading. I send you all much love and light. Much thanks for your support, your love, your prayers. I send you much peace and infinite blessings until we meet again next week. So love to all of you, and namaste.